Hi everyone, this is Vishen Lakiani and welcome to our new session of Unlimited Abundance with the one and only Christy Marie Sheldon. Now, I don't know how you got here, but what I know is that you are here to learn about abundance blocks and to experience a healing and a clearing of some of your major abundance blocks. You see, according to Christy, money is just an effect. The true cause of your money situation is your energy field and your abundance programming. Let me repeat that. All of us want abundance, right? And abundance is one of those keystone skills. When you have abundance, everything else flows to you. People who are abundant have better relationships. People who are abundant can afford better health. People who are abundant live a better life. People who are abundant can give back to the world. This is why abundance is a keystone skill. We all know that. And in survey after survey after survey, when we talk to you, our community, abundance is the number one thing people want in their life. But let me repeat Christie's quote. Money is just an effect. The true cause of your money situation is your energy field and abundance programming. I've come to believe this the hard way as an entrepreneur. I found that no matter what business strategy or what mentors I have or what idea I have or how well I do in work, the thing that grows my abundance has always been my, my abundance energy field, my abundance programming. And this is why you're here. You're going to learn from one of the world's greatest abundance coaches, Christy Marie Sheldon. Christy, I know you're there on the line. How are you today?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm completely excited and helping people grow and change today.
And so, Christy, by the way, I just want to say I love your laugh, and I'm going to explain something about that laugh in a moment. So, those of you who are listening, you might notice that there is no video here. It's just audio. There's a reason for that. Christy is a very unique type of teacher. She's not just going to be teaching you through lectures. She's going to be teaching you through her style, which is essentially channeling. Christy channels when she talks. In other words, she taps into a higher form of energy and the words flow through her. And when she's doing this and speaking to, there's probably about several thousand people listening at any given point, she is channeling the right information, the right knowledge, the right healing energy for the listeners. Now, because this is channeling, we don't show video because Christy requested no video because her eyes are closed, right? And it would be a little bit awkward if we were watching video. So, Christy, would that be correct in terms of how I explained it?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Okay.
And plus it allows everyone else to go in deeper within themselves.
True, right. Because the video isn't important. What is important over here is the experience you're going to have. This is more than just a lecture, it's a healing experience. Christy, I just want to say something about your laugh. When Christy channels, she has these bursts of joy that come into the world through giggles and laughs. And I've had people write to me and go, Vishen, what is up with her? She laughs so much, I can't take her seriously. No, you see, that's not the point. The laughing is part of it. It's because joy, happiness are key things that happen to you when you channel. So get used to the laughter. You're going to be hearing a lot of those giggles, and it's part of the charm that makes her Christy Marie Sheldon. Okay, so before we begin, guys, I need you to do a simple exercise with me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10 on the following questions, okay? 0 to 10. This helps you determine what abundance blocks, where in your life you need to magnify your abundance programming. Okay, so 0 to 10. Don't think about it too much. The first number that comes to mind is usually the right one. And if you've downloaded the workbook, you should see this particular segment in the workbook. This will take us 3 minutes. First is rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10. I am happy in my current job. Number 2, I get paid for doing what I love. Is that true or not on a scale of 0 to 10? Number 3, I deserve abundance in all areas of my life. Rate yourself from 0 to 10. 4, I have the skills and talents to provide great value to others. How much is that true for you? 0 to 10. 5, I feel supported on my path to success. 6, I have a step-by-step action plan to my perfect abundant life. 7, I can be successful and abundant and still have balance in my life. 8, I am making more and more money yearly as I grow in my career or business. Is that true? Rate yourself from 0 to 10. 9. Finances don't cause stress in my family life. Number 10. Finances don't cause stress in my social life. And 11. I am satisfied with my current level of abundance. Rate yourself from 0 to 10. Okay, so it's 11 categories, and you should see your score from 0 to 10. These questions help you determine how truly abundant you are. And if for any of these categories you score anything less than an 8, this is a sign that there is further that you can go when it comes to your level of abundance. So we're about to get started with Christy, and as we wait for more people to come on, I want to share with you just a couple of little bits about Christy. Christy, I know you're probably going to be blushing right now, but I really want to share this. So firstly, Christy Marie Sheldon holds a number of incredible records here at Mindvalley. She is, over the last 5 years, the #1 teacher on the Mindvalley Academy in terms of students who have enrolled in her classes. She works with many of the most incredible people in the world, from Nobel Prize winners to best-selling nonfiction authors. She's coached CEOs, celebs, and even the head of a country. She has worked with many incredible authors: Lisa Nichols, Marci Shimoff, John Ashraf, Hale Dwoskin, Don Miguel Ruiz. One of her talks on YouTube is about to hit 3 million views, and she is therefore, this was a talk she gave at Mindvalley's festival, A-Fest. It's about to get 3 million views on YouTube, making her by far the single most watched A-Fest teacher that we've ever put up on the internet. And all of this is because of Christy's charm and how she teaches. So I guess the biggest thing I can say about Christy is this. Christy is my personal coach. When I have a frustration with my career, my work, I feel I'm hitting a glass ceiling, I feel that, money is slipping through my hands and not coming to me at a way I need it to come, I go to Christy. And I guess, given my access, given the people I know, that's testament to just how effective this woman is. My first session with Christy was actually a healing session. She healed me of a illness I had that had taken me weeks to get over. She healed me in 24 hours. That was a bad case of bronchitis. And so I got to know her as a healer. And that's when I realized that Christy had the unique gift to heal more than just physical ailments. She could actually heal energy patterns. And she became my #1 coach, because I would go through a session with her, and the next month, I would have some of the most mind-blowing results in business and in life. And that was when we decided to bring Christy onto Mindvalley Academy. So here's what happened. Now, about 4 or 5 years ago, we had our first ever Unlimited Abundance live session. So what happened was I brought on Christy, and we offered a program where people paid $1,000 to go through 12 sessions with Christy. They would basically get in a call with Christy every single week for 12 weeks. And in each of these sessions, Christy would help them overcome an abundance blocks. So it was a 12-week program. People paid about $1,000. And I introduced Christy to the audience via a webinar. We were estimating 200 people to enroll because it was like $1,000, right? But instead, we got 400 people. Now, that isn't the point of this. Here's what happened next. These 400 people, we actually tracked their results. We surveyed them. We had them write to us emails based on how their lives were changing in the course of that 12 weeks and beyond. And here's the crazy thing. At the end of that 12 weeks, these 400 people had written back to us, and on average, we asked each of them, did you notice in your life unusual opportunities with money? Maybe a salary increase, maybe an inheritance, maybe an idea that got funding. Now, on average, each person, on average, manifested $7,500. The total, when we added it all up, was $3 million. Now remember, $7,500 is the bare minimum, because we estimate that the actual number was 5 times as large, because not every one of these 400 got back to us with an email. So the average money manifested was significantly larger, and that was just over 12 weeks of abundance programming with Christy. Now, can we explain how this works? Absolutely not. We do not know. This is one of those things that you can't really explain with science, but I've noticed it in my life. I've noticed it in the lives of our customers. When people go through this abundance trainings, massive shifts happen in their lives. And Christy, before I bring you on, as we have more and more people tuning in, it's very important for those of you listening that you understand how powerful this session is going to be. Now, this is going to be an investment of your time. The full session is completely free, but it is going to take you 60 minutes to 90 minutes to go through this entire session. And life is going to crop in the way. There might be a phone call. You might, get tempted to get off your chair to go watch TV or read the news or get back to work. But the thing is, this is important, and the results speak for themselves. And so just to put some glue on your butt so you stay on your chair and you complete this session, I want to share with you a couple of quick video clips of last year's students who went through this. So these are students who went through this Unlimited Abundance free session and then enrolled in Christy's program. Listen to their stories. Christy, go ahead and let's share this.
Hey guys, I'm here with Elena, and I invited Elena because she did Unlimited Abundance Live for a couple of years in a row. And I wanted to say hi to you, Elena. Hi.
Hi.
So could you tell folks what happened for you over the last couple of years?
I signed up for Unlimited Abundance 2014, August is when I started. And I was unemployed. I was searching for deeper meaning, a sense of purpose. And so I signed up for class. I had that gut intuition, and I used those 24 classes that you get, and I listened to them. I spun them on my iPod. I let God, pick the way. Just go right ahead. And it was so funny because each and every time it was spot on. And I thought, I want to double my income. Now it's July. I have doubled my discretionary. My actual income, my salary, I have raised my income 60%. Wow. And all of that is discretionary. I don't know how to say that, but wow.
It's extra, it's a bonus, yeah. I love
that.
It's
huge. I got a new job where I'm getting paid to be me, a concept that honestly you introduced me to. So, I thought work was supposed to be work. I didn't realize it was supposed to be this much fun. And I get paid well, and I sold a house which I had been holding on vacant like some sort of trophy because I just couldn't emotionally let go of it. Cleared all that baggage, made a profit on the house. I'm so proud. I'm so glad I did this. So glad. Grateful. Yeah, grateful. Thank you.
Allison agreed to join me. She did my Unlimited Abundance Live last year, and she's had some cool stories and some things happening, and I thought I wanted to get you guys excited as well. And so Allison, can you tell us what happened for you? Like, what was your life like before Unlimited Abundance, and what's been happening over the last year?
Sure. Hey, Christy. It's so great to be here. Hi, everyone. So Unlimited Abundance has been such an amazing experience for me. It truly has been life-changing. I have to say the tools and the information and the clearings that I've gotten to have access to and gotten to expand in this course have just provided me with a whole new platform to live on. It's awesome. I think the biggest impact it's had in my life is in my business. And one of the things that I noticed is I'm having a lot more fun in my business. If any of you are business owners out there, it can be really stressful being a business owner. It can be really easy to be working all the time. That for me, for sure, before Unlimited Abundance was my mode of operation. It was just like, if I wasn't on my computer or on my email working, I was feeling guilty. And now I get to go surfing and have a blast.
You told me this cool story about you quadrupled your income in the last couple months.
Totally. So I really took all the tools that we were learning in Unlimited Abundance, and I started setting more specific goals for myself. Quadruple my normal monthly income. Signed on, I believe in the first month I signed on 5 clients in 1 month, which has never happened for me ever before. It was like, I don't think I've ever signed on more than 2 clients in 1 month. So, and that was with the help of a coach. And this was something I completely generated on my own. I made the decision that it was going to happen. I set my financial goal and I got in action, and I just took massive action and didn't stop until I reached my goal. So now that I've done that, I know that it's possible. I can do that again and again and again.
I have with me Carrie, and Carrie did Unlimited Abundance Live last year. How you doing, Carrie?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good. So could you share with us some what your life was like before Unlimited Abundance and some of the cool things that have happened. I heard you have an exciting story about something.
Yeah, I was feeling burned out in the job that I had for 7 years. There wasn't any career growth, and I was feeling like very stuck. Like I need to be doing something different. I didn't know what to do. Da 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 da. So I really, at the time, wanted to have a new career where I wanted to make more money, specifically to pay off a little bit of credit card debt and start funding, a career that I enjoyed and really loved and felt passionate about. And a friend of mine that I hadn't talked to in 10 years got chatted with me on Facebook and said, "Hey, what are you doing for a job these days?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm actually looking. I'm starting, to redo my resume and looking for a new job and all this stuff." And he was like, "We have this opening, so you should come interview." So 2 days later, I go for the interview, and then by Friday, I was offered the job. And here's the thing: I was making like $75,000 at the job I was in, and this job starting salary was $120,000. So, that whole part about shifting my self-worth and shifting the receiving and having balance of shifting and receiving really did work. I'm just thrilled because I've been in my new job for 6 months, and it's just like my new normal. It's new normal to have a six-figure income and be having disposable income and to do what I want when I want. So it's been really cool. So I just am so grateful to you because you were just, the catalyst I needed to nudge me and to push me into receiving mode that I can do it, right? I would advise anybody who's on the fence about doing this program, do it because you have a tool set that really gets you right there to right where you need to do it. And oh, by the way, you transmute the energy on this other super duper great level that not everybody's aware of it. But there's all these different aspects to it that help you bring you back to center. And if you're really willing to just get on the other side of these emotions, then life gets better. And then you start really realizing, oh, I can have what I want. I can feel how I want to feel. I can have the relationships I want. It just all starts flowing. And once you get into the flow, you realize that's empowering. You're embodying that greatness, and it just flows. And oh, by the way, there's other people on the planet that are doing it with you. I mean, it's really fun. It's really fun, and I highly recommend it. It really gets my juices flowing, obviously. But yeah, do it.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. We can feel your excitement. I'm so happy for you. Hey guys, I'm here with Christine, and she did Unlimited Abundance Live 2 years in a row. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. When I first joined UA Live 2014, I at first was working for 7 different business English companies. Wow. And running around the city. And I said, I want to work for one company. I want to work from home 3 or 4 days a week. And about 6 months after I started the course, I met my current employer. I sent my resume. He called me an hour later. I met him the next day. He basically hired me on the spot. We went from having 1 student and 1 office to now having 150 students, 4 locations. I'm the head teacher. I'm able to work from home 3 or 4 days a week on Skype teaching my students. 2 days I meet my students face to face for group discussions. I love my students. They're wonderful. They study so hard. Sorry. I doubled my income. That was a huge one. From my job in Nagasaki to my job in Tokyo, I've doubled my income, which was a huge thing for me. Financial freedom is top of my list of what I want to create and have in my life and have the freedom.
So for somebody listening, what would you, and they're maybe on the fence, what would you tell them? What would your advice be to them?
Well, my advice, just do it. Just do it. Honestly, that's like the Nike slogan, right? But honestly, that has really just become my motto, especially in the past year and a half, 2 years, I think. What do you have to lose? Really, there's really nothing to lose. The truth is, with Christy's programs, they have catapulted me beyond anything I've ever done. I'm not saying the other things weren't wonderful and I didn't get something, but this has really just, boom, my life is so different than it was 2.5 years ago.
Christy, thank you for sharing that. Now, everyone, let's get ready to begin. Christy, are you ready?
Absolutely. Let's get going.
I hope that you're ready for a major shift in your life, because today you're going to learn all about abundance blocks. And these are these sneaky subconscious blocks silently holding you back from wealth and abundance. And not only that, near the end of the webinar, you'll actually experience and go through an energy clearing session with me that will set your life and your abundance up on a new path. By the time that you reach the end of this session, you'll know exactly what to do in order to manifest abundance and achieve financial goals. And trust me, this is powerful stuff. So stay tuned all the way to the end. Let's start with a short outline about what we're going to do in the next 1 hour session. I've divided it into 6 different sections, and the energy clearing exercise itself will come in the second half of the session, after I give you some background on it and why it's vitally important. In the first section, I'm going to talk to you about the truth about money, and here I'm going to show you why money might not be what you think it is. And then I'm going to give you a short but very important self-reflection exercise. The second section is extremely important, and I'll tell you about the abundance blocks, why they're holding you back from wealth. And here I'm going to also share these fascinating and maybe a little shocking stories about my clients and how they completely turn their lives around by overcoming their abundance blocks. In the third section, we're going to look at how energy block clearing works. And I have to be honest, I was a little hesitant to share this at first because most energy healers never share their secrets. But I believe that you guys deserve to have this information because it'll help you get even better results. In the fourth section, I'm going to talk about my super secret formula for manifesting, and I call it the I Am formula for manifesting. And it's going to show you the exact steps to create a reality. This formula is not just limited to abundance. You can apply it to every area of your life: health, happiness, relationships, career, your love life, everything. The fifth section is one that you're going to be waiting for. It's an energy clearing session. In this session, I'm going to tap into the collective energy fields and elevate them for abundance in 2015. And I can't stress enough how valuable this is going to be for you, because very few healers would do this kind of thing online. So get yourself in a comfortable place from the beginning to the end, please, and don't miss this session. Now, the sixth section is quite fascinating. It's called How Much Are Your Abundance Blocks Costing You? And before we begin, I'm going to give you a very special invitation at the end of the session, so make sure you stay online all the way to the end. Let me start with a couple of questions, and I want you to note down the answers to them. What is abundance and money like for you? Is it easy to get? Is money hard to hold on to? Is money and abundance only found on credit cards for you? Is money a non-issue in your life because you have plenty? For whatever reason that you're on the call, I can tell you this. I have had thousands of people who felt hindered in their ability to manifest abundance in the form of cash, wealth, or other things associated with material energy. They wanted things so that they would have the freedom to experience life in a certain way, to love their children in a certain way. You know, for instance, they could want to send their kids to a good school, or share cultures and travel, or love them any way they wanted because they had the resources to do it. And for some people, hearing the phrase, the love of money is the root of all evil, became a subconscious program that they brought into their reality, and they now think money is bad to have. But I see a lot of very wealthy people doing philanthropy. So money, you see, is just an energy that you use to do good things for you. It's a tool. And it might surprise you that I call money that way. If I had known what I'm going to teach you 20 years ago, my whole world would have been very different. Starting in my mid-20s, I manifested an abundance most people would only dream of. And I'm being conservative when I say this because I don't like to brag or really talk about myself. I'm just giving you the information so that you know that I know what I'm talking about. But I've lived a multimillionaire's lifestyle. I had the cars and the material things and the private plane and the multiple homes and the 5-star vacations. So I've done it all. I've had a lot of fun doing it. And I got to hang out with loads of very abundant people and celebrity rich people. And I watched how they think and act about money. And what I learned about a lot of these wealthy people is that they think money is easy to get. And they really didn't have a lot of blocks in trying to figure out how the whole game of it works. It was only an energy that they mastered doing what they love. They got paid for being themselves. So I get what it takes to manifest a lot of money. I also understand the whole other reality of being poor. Okay, I grew up in a middle-class family, but I did the poor, broke college kid. I worked and paid my way all the way through college. And so I've done the full range of manifesting abundance, having none and to having some. So I also am so grateful and thankful because I get to do what I love for a living. I get to be paid for being Christy. I've worked on well over 25,000 people clearing their blocks to happiness, and these blocks are not all about prosperity and abundance. I think I have a PhD in clearing blocks from people on wealth and money and love and relationships and health and family and everything in between. And I want to point out to you that even Mother Teresa, okay, a very spiritual woman, manifested millions of dollars in her lifetime with her abundant mindset. She attracted millions of dollars from other abundant and wealthy people. She had resources available to her that made her an excellent magnet for abundance. So you see, money is just an effect. The true cause of having money or not having money is your energy field and your abundance programming. And this abundance programming, your energy field, you have to understand at some level, subconsciously, you aligned with it, you agreed with it, you brought it into yourself, and you made it true for you, okay? And so the good news is you can change it. So here's what I know. I think manifesting anything in your life, cash, money, more income, less income, all of it, is basically a sum total of all of your unconscious, subconscious energy frequencies and the patterns that you've brought into your reality field from everyone around you, as well as your own thoughts, ideas, and judgments about things. All your energetic frequencies are made up of this energy, and these decisions that you have manifested create either a big door being kaboom, shut to your abundance, or a big golden door being open and flowing to more and more abundance. And that's the truth about money from an energetic place. You have an energetic set point about money, cash, and material things in your life, and this is what's affecting you. So let's talk about your abundance blocks and why they're holding you back from your wealth. As you should know, abundance blocks are subconscious barriers that society and the people around you, starting from the age of 0, you started bringing into your reality and downloading it and implanting it within yourself. And they silently, sneakily, behind the scenes, sabotage your efforts to gain wealth. And these abundance blocks can come from anywhere. Your parents, your mentors, your friends, the media, the government. How? Well, think about it like this. As a child, did you ever hear your parents complaining about greedy, unethical rich people? Or about how the government kind of always sides with them instead of the masses? Or did you ever hear that line from the Bible saying it's harder for a rich man to enter heaven than for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle? Have you ever watched a movie or listened to a song or read an article that calls money the root of all evil in high school or college? Were you ever told that you have to work really, really hard and that is the only way you will get successful? Now, All of these things sound pretty insignificant, right? But silently, sneakily, they latch into your subconscious mind and they form the abundance blocks within you. And the result of this influence is basically in plain sight. Many of you are saddled with subconscious fears towards money because somewhere deep inside you, you relate it to greed and evil and you want to be a good person. So you spend it so you don't have to have it so you can still be a good person. Some of you guys spend all your time at work thinking that backbreaking work is the only path to success, right? Versus working in a guided, smart, abundant way. And the list goes on. And I need you to understand this because it's vitally important. Having just one abundance block is enough to completely derail your life. Now, let me just highlight a couple of the most common abundance blocks. So here's one. Abundance block number 1, hard work equals success. For example, what if you had an abundance block that causes you to believe hard work equals success? You might become the kind of person that works 60, 70, 80 hours a week. You come home late at night, you miss countless precious moments with your family and friends, you overexert yourself, you end up in the hospital, or even worse. And you see, when left unchecked, even having one single abundance block can ruin your life. And what I found is that most of us have at least a dozen abundance blocks affecting us to varying degrees. So basically, you're living in a limited reality of your own making, okay? You downloaded it and now you're living it and you don't have to, okay? So the stories that you created by believing and bringing it into your energy field are what the problem is. Okay, abundance block number 2, believing that money is the root of all evil. So I want you to think for a moment. Let's go back to the phrase that the love of money is the root of all evil. So if you accidentally believe that on an energetic place, even if logically you don't think you believe it, you are becoming that energy. And then that energy closes the big door to abundance to you. So even if you're thinking logically, you could still have a pattern of belief that reads true. Hey, money really is the root of all evil. And that's why people sabotage themselves by spending it all and not saving or blowing it on stuff and filling up their home with things that take away peace and happiness. So then you can actually believe it's really evil, right? It makes the belief more strongly ingrained. So look at the common sense. Don't you want to be a good person, right? So if you spend all your money, get rid of all the cash, then you could be good, not evil. So when you change this energetically, and I've seen this belief on thousands of clients, we erase the whole story, and then you can start believing and having in your reality field and your energy that it's safe, right, and good to have money. It's safe, right, and good to love money. It's safe, right, and good to keep money. It's safe, right, and good to bring in more money, right? You can then treat it like your best friend or your favorite pet by loving it and keeping it around. So I think you actually have no choice but to clear these things. I truly do. I think a big light bulb should go off right now for everyone in the world, and everyone should be thinking, you know what, Christy? I actually don't even have a choice. Like, I have to clear these things. Otherwise, they are just going to haunt me and keep showing themselves to me over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? Because you know what's going to happen. The universe is loving and helpful and wants you to show up as abundant, wealthy, and happy. The universe actually wants to help you. So when you ask the question, hey, why am I broke? It's going to keep showing you all the reasons why you are broke as a love gift so that you can finally start eliminating all of these sneaky abundance blocks. You know, abundance is your true nature. So again, I personally believe that you have to clear these abundance blocks until they're all gone. I don't really think you have an option because the universe is going to keep showing them to you until they're gone. So if you have ever made a decision, as an example, to save money, and then the car broke down or the washing machine went kaput, well, that's actually the universe sharing with you, hey, knock, 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 you have some energy block here. You got to clear this. You have to fix this, right? Otherwise, you're going to keep manifesting the same stuff over and over and over again. And that's what the majority of people do. And I don't want that for you. I really don't. So these people don't understand that it can change very rapidly because they don't have the right know-how on how to fix it. And they don't know where to look to find these blocks. So in working with so many people one-on-one, over 25,000 people, I know where to look to find the blocks and how to show you how to fix them quickly, even if you've been working on yourself for years. I have a lot of clients say to me, Christy, I've been working on myself for years. And I say to them, well, then you haven't really found the block that's underneath it all, holding it all together. Because if you really found that one block, you wouldn't be working on yourself for years. Okay? And it's not their fault. They just, don't know where to look. So how many of you believe that a job is the source of your abundance? I think of a job as the thing that you choose to do that creates value when you put your energy into it. But I want to ask you, does the energy of your job add to your life personally, or does it deplete it? Okay, when you go to your job, you're like, woohoo, this brings me a lot of value in my life, or is it depleting, or both? So here's what I mean. I think a job is a choice, and you put your life force into it, and you give value into it, and it gives you value or abundance or money back, right? And this job is sometimes called your livelihood, which I love, right? Because it should make you lively, right? Your life depends on it, and it gives you money back to live. So you give life to it, and it gives life back to you. But for some people, the story of it gives you money back is so strong that you stay in a job that is unhappy, that is unlively, right? It doesn't give you life. It doesn't give you happiness back to you. So it's like you're giving your heart and soul to something that you don't actually prefer. You're living in a way out of integrity with yourself. And if you live this way for a long, long time, it's going to zap your life, right? It's going to become a magnet for pain and frustration. It's not going to give you back life fullness. It's going to deplete your life, right? And so, look, I get it. There's pros and cons to living this way. But if you believe that you can't get a job that matches the description that I was talking about, a livelihood, you have to understand that underneath all of that, you have some abundance blocks and some fears and subconscious things going on that make you think that you have to stay in something that doesn't help you. I mean, just really think about it. If you think you can't get a better job, fear is a low vibration, right? Fear-based thinking slams that big door shut on abundance, right? Whereas living in integrity, living in happiness, living where you feel valued creates a space of happiness where the big door to abundance is open, okay? And that's why I think this thing that everyone calls their quote-quote job, J-O-B, right, should feel happy and in the flow. And a lot of you that are listening right now, you're in a job crisis, or you might be overdrawn on your happiness set point, and you keep moving closer and closer and closer to the lower vibed kind of energy, fear and anger and setback and constraints and contraction and all of that stuff, right? And that's not who you are. You're not built like that. You are actually wired for abundance. And somehow you got programmed for lack somewhere. And I want to help you get over that. So here's another funny way to look at jobs, okay? And it's a common block that I find in a lot of my clients. But if you plan to retire and you currently hate your job and you're saying, I get happiness in the future when I retire, right? I'm going to be happy when, or I'm going to be happy if, or I'm going to be happy whatever. You keep pushing your happiness out into the future. And I want you guys to start living from this energy of like, hey, I am happy. I am grateful. I am in the place where I deserve that kind of thing. And I'm going to choose my happiness now. And then it starts to show up, okay? I want you guys to imagine a scale of 1 to 1,000. At the top is enlightenment, and the bottom is close to death. And in this scale, there are factors that complement your life. And I call it the lever above energy, right? I even did a whole program on it. So I believe that you can either live from the energy of love, gratefulness, happiness, positive energy, and this is your true spiritual nature. And then when you're doing your life, basically life happens in the way that you want when you're living in that vibration, right? So it's our job to find out all the fear, anger, worry, hate, shame, guilt, and all of that crazy ass stuff and get that out of your vibration, okay? So that you can start living peacefully and in love with your life, right? So now think of something that you love more than anything. It could be a person, it could be a child, it could be a pet. It could be the Harley Davidson that you want because it epitomizes freedom, right? Okay, now imagine living in that kind of energy all the time, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Now I want you to think of something for a minute. I want you to think of like something you hate more than anything. It could be paying the bills. It could be driving to work. It could be doing daily tasks. It could be doing anything. Okay, now what do you feel like, right? Probably pretty crappy, probably uncomfortable, right? And so that's what happens when you guys often think of money or paying the credit card bill or whatever it is, right? Like that energy comes up within you. And our job is to neutralize it. And then what will happen is you'll start attracting things that fit more in the flow of true abundance. You know, I had this really cool guy, his name is Roman, and Roman changed his life in 12 weeks by doing my abundance course. He did it the very first time I ever offered it. He was in a dead-end job, didn't want to do it anymore, and he started clearing his blocks, and he realized that he had cut off his abundance flow by thinking that the one job that he currently had was the only choice. So we cleared a bunch of beliefs around jobs for him, and in a moment you're going to do the same thing. But the next thing you know, he applied for a different career, and you're not going to believe what showed up, okay? He got 3 job offers. He took one of them, he got a raise, and a $5,000 signing bonus. And he made an extra $20,000 in under 12 weeks. I mean, that's amazingly quick. And he said, Christy, you're not going to believe it, but my relationship with my mom and dad has totally improved. They don't push my buttons anymore, you know? So there's all these other cool benefits that happened for him. And this all happened by clearing his stuck energy and clearing the fear of moving forward and doing something that he absolutely, totally loved. And so in changing your beliefs, these things can happen for you as well. I had another amazing woman. Her name was Karen, and she did my abundance course as well. She was always living in fear because she had 5 kids, okay? And her husband had very little savings. And one thing, kaboom, could go wrong, and they would have a big mess. You know, I'm sure a lot of you guys are in that situation where you don't know how long you can go on the way you are. But Karen from the UK, she loved herself enough, took action, joined me on my abundance course, and in under 4 weeks, she doubled her family income in 1 month, you know? And she said to me, Christy, I would have never, ever, ever believed that this would happen to me. But basically what happened is she manifested her dream job where she could work at home and she could do her job. And what happened is she kept using the tools and the techniques for herself and her boss and her husband, right? And she was asking that more and more clients show up for both of them. So the boss got so inundated with new clients, Karen went from working 1 day at home a week to working 4 days a week. All right. And she was enjoying it. She literally doubled the household income. And then she said in the email, Christy, you have to understand, things like this never happened to me before. My family was barely making ends meet, and now we have more than doubled that. Her abundant energy also took hold in her husband's life, and she made more sales in his position as well. Okay, so then he started generating more income. She goes, it's like my energy is changing everybody around me. And so she wanted to help other people and women who were moms do the same thing. And she decided, hey, I want to be one of Christy's intuitive life coaches. And so she started doing that. I got another email from a wife. She said her husband had been out of work for 2 years and she was desperate for change. And she was watching her husband stick to a job that he didn't even love anymore for a long time. Now he was out of work. And she just said to him, honey, can you just use the tools, okay? And he begrudgingly used the tools that I had showed her on my online program. And he thought this energy stuff was a little weird, but he did it anyway. And again, one of those funny stories, in under 12 weeks, he got a new job paying him more money than he had ever earned in his entire career. And he'd been out of work for 2 years, okay? Is that a coincidence? Or is it, whatever, that all of a sudden he's using the tools and suddenly he started to get a job, right? But I can tell you for sure, they don't live in fear anymore. If you really want something in your life and you are not receiving it, it might be because you have these patterns locked inside you as well, and you don't even know where they are or what they are and how to change them, okay? So here's the deal. I've discovered thousands of ways that we block our wealth and abundance. And, these stories get programmed into us, okay? And they block the very thing that we're trying to create in our life. And in fact, I believe that anyone can change these, and they would then never have a money issue ever again. And I can actually kind of prove this. So let's go with the energy of thoughts or things. So if I told you earlier that your love for money is good, and you knew it is your birthright to have it, and you energetically resonated with this, that means your energy is vibrating at love or above. And quantum physics suggests that if you look at something, you change how the energy behaves. So if you look at the thought, loving money is good, loving money is positive, loving money is a magnet to more and more money, I would say, but there is a place where it's not true. And that's these other thoughts that you have unconsciously acting like the very barrier, because you might be thinking money is really good, but then you'll have some big but that comes up right after it, right? Like that thought, that secondary thought that comes up right after it, that's the clue or the key to your subconscious belief that's been programmed into you by moms, dads, society, teachers, governments, media, etc., right? Now, I would have never, ever, ever, ever known about this programming thing, except for I just worked on so many people. And I started to discover that most of this stuff gets imprinted on us from 0 to 7 years old, okay? Most of the blocks that I find in my clients who are 30, 40, 50 years old, when I trace the belief back all the way, it happened from 0 to 7 years old, and I would have never understood this had I not worked on so many people. We do all these funny, twisty little ways that we hide these subconscious patterns from ourselves, right? You might think, oh, I'm just procrastinating. And I go back and inside you and I look and I go, oh my God, no, you're not procrastinating. You're basically a 5-year-old little kid avoiding being criticized by your parents, so you don't really want to do it because you can't do it perfect enough, because then you don't get love from mommy and daddy, and therefore that's why you're procrastinating when you're 40 years old, right? Like that's really how it works, okay? It's crazy how we love ourselves enough in some deep kind of way that, hey, we don't want to be criticized, so therefore I'm not going to do something that I could be doing wrong. Okay, and all these funny ways that we block our abundance comes from silly little stories like that you think, oh, that's no big deal. That happened when I'm 5. Well, I promise you, it's a big deal. And here's what I've discovered. In working with so many people, I found that everybody pretty much has some version of about 24 of these abundance blocks, okay, that I think that we all should really clear. And here's a couple examples. If you think that God or Source abandoned you at some level or didn't help you, like how many of you guys have ever prayed for something and then it didn't happen? Okay. And when it didn't happen, what you kind of took in your unconscious self was like, hey, I guess God doesn't support me. Or if your mom or dad wasn't there to support you, oh, I guess people don't support me, right? But part of the clue to manifesting anything is you have to feel supported. All right. So if you think money is the root of all evil, you're blocked. If you think I'm spiritual and I don't need money, you're blocked. If you think I can't be spiritual and have money, blocked. If you believe that rich people are greedy and do bad things for money, blocked. And on and on and on and on. If you have a belief that if I have a bunch of money, people are only going to want me for my money and keep asking for other things, blocked, because that's a fear, right? So if you have a belief I can't make money quickly, All right, well, then you're going to work hard, you're going to work slow, it's going to be torturous. You know, I have seen a lot of people do my programs and say, oh my God, Christy, as soon as I cleared this block about money has to be hard, money just started showing up, and it was really actually easy. I had a client, his name was Chris. He sent me an email, and I'm just going to read it. He said, I'm moving into a whole new life. I'm grateful that you keep reminding us to play and have fun. My wife and I are building a dream house. It's a big project. I get the feeling that it's not smart to do in today's economy, but I just keep using the tools that you've given us, and I've been asking to double and triple my income and to find some new opportunities, and I always wanted to pay this house off within 5 years. As of yesterday, Christy, we can totally pay for that house in cash if I want to. This was not expected and pretty unbelievable. Okay, so that's one email. And again, I have to say that I can't guarantee that everyone who does my work will get that result, but I'm showing you guys the emails so that you can expand your belief of what is actually possible, okay? So as Chris said at the bottom, this was not expected. But imagine for a moment if he did not answer his soul's calling to be on a phone call just like you are today, taking guided action and doing the course. I mean, imagine how his life would be different. Now he also has the tools, and those tools can't ever be taken away from him. Okay, he's empowered. I myself used to have the belief that I have to struggle to make money, or money comes from hard work. And when I changed my own frequency to read to the energy of what I call love or above, and put in the belief that I get paid for being me, and everything in my life lovingly profits me in some way, then basically what happened is my whole life changed and my whole life upgraded. And then that's really what happened. I get to be paid being me, and everything in my life lovingly profits me, right, in some way. And I don't even just mean from money. I mean in happy exchanges with people, right? So it's amazing what can happen for you. The good news is it's very possible to remove your abundance blocks, but the challenge is that it's not something you can always do alone, because even if you know exactly what these abundance blocks are, even if you make a logical decision to break free from them, you're going to have these other existing energetic frequencies, subconscious thought patterns that keep pulling you back to square one, back to the same limiting beliefs and behaviors. And that's why I believe the key to liberating yourself from them is to go to this higher vibration, this source energy, and I call it your abundance frequency. And that's where I'm going to come in. So using my unique gift for tapping into people's energy fields, I'm going to help you access your abundance frequency, and we're going to systematically start removing all the blockages that are holding it down. You know, it's a liberating experience, it's life-changing, it's exhilarating, and it's going to be really fun and effective. As a matter of fact, you're going to get to experience this in a few moments. Okay, through a clearing session that I'm going to guide you through. So make sure you have your headphones on, get into a comfortable place. Now, back to the topic. You may be asking yourself, well, how does this energy stuff really work? Well, when I'm with a client, I basically start using my intuitive gifts and I start reading a client's energy field. I can see at what age they got certain beliefs, where they're stuck in their body or around their body, because your soul overlights your body, right, and creates this reality field on and around your body. And I just look at the client's reality field and I can see where it looks like it's off, or they have a belief, or they have something wrong, or they have a fear, worry, guilt, shame, or any lower emotion. And then we start going in and clearing that pattern, okay? And then, kind of like a mold of the perfect energy template or something, we basically download into them the abundance frequency or the belief that they need about abundance to replace all the dark energy, okay? And then we basically keep enhancing this with a lot of positive beliefs and attributes and put it back in the client, and amazing, amazing, amazing things happen. It's like instant energetic transformation. And the technique works both on individuals and it also works in groups. In fact, You're going to experience it firsthand in the energy clearing session shortly. Speaking of groups, have you guys ever heard of the Maharishi effect? It's a scientifically documented phenomenon in which large groups of people can more quickly and effectively spark positive change by focusing on a common goal. You know, in a number of fascinating case studies, they show that basically they could reduce crime rates, they could decrease unemployment rates, they could increase stock prices. Now, just imagine what it could do for the individuals' lives who are participating. You know, the key is collective consciousness. So we're in a group. We're going to basically create this big reality bubble that we all tap into. And we're going to use this mass amount of energy and positive energy to start eliminating each other's abundance blocks. And the result is going to basically be exponential because more and more people are participating. I mean, we have thousands of people on this phone call. Now, I want to talk to you guys one more minute about how you create a reality, okay? And how I like to define it is the I am formula, okay? Because it's your reality, right? I am. And the start of the formula is the I, and the I stands for intention. So you're a creator in a body, and when you set an intention, and in this example, we'll say, hey, Christy, I want to set the intention that I want to manifest more abundance, okay? So that's your intention. And then you add to it the A, and the A is action. But I like to break up that word into two parts, okay? Because I think of action is it has to be guided, because you don't want to take an action that you know is not going to give you the result, right? So that's why I believe in intuition, and I believe in taking guided action, all right? But a lot of people on this call are procrastinators, right? They don't trust themselves. So they have these other kind of things coming up. So I like to define action as guided action plus massive action, right? As Yoda said, do or not do, there is no try. Oftentimes people will say to me, Christy, I quote, quote, tried. But if you really look at that word, you'll see underlying it, they didn't actually take, quote, quote, massive, intentional, guided action, right? So if you take your intentions and then you take guided, massive action, it equals manifestation. Now, it seems like a really simple concept, right? So why doesn't it always work? Because people will call me up and they'll go, Christy, I set an intention, I took what I thought was guided action, and then it didn't manifest. Well, here's what you have to understand. I teach people that they have to start looking for the other intentions that are counteracting the intention you're currently set. So here's an example, okay? So you decide, Christy, I would like to earn more money. And then I say to you, well, what are your actions? What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to, quote, quote, look for a job, okay? And then when I later on check in with them, I say to them, how many resumes did you send out? And how many people in your Rolodex did you call, right? That's massive action. And they will say to me, you know, none or hardly any or whatever it is, right? Well, what other intention is underneath that that's blocking their main intention? Well, that's your subconscious beliefs, right? So maybe in the past they had something happen and they have like some unconscious belief that they watched their mom and dad do. They watched their mom and dad like do a job that they hated for 20 years, and their mom and dad kind of showed the kids or implanted that energy of, hey, you have to be miserable and do the same thing over and over and over and over again. So now my client is saying, hey, Christy, I set this intent. Hey, I want a new job. Then they have to go take action and something happens, right? They don't take the massive action or the guided action or the call the right people. Well, what is that all about? Well, it's because they have this other counter kind of intentionality that says, hey, mom and dad kind of, stuck it out for forever. So I guess I'm supposed to just be in a job that I hate. Now, even if they logically know that that's completely ridiculous and untrue, it's still affecting them, okay? And this is what's going on with you guys. When you're saying to me, hey, I want to pay off my credit card debt, but then you keep spending money, right? Or, hey, I want to start my own business, and then you never work on it, okay? So that means that you have some other cross intentionality that's like basically zapping you with the same energy force as your positive intention. And that's what we're going to be looking for today. So if we clear all of these subconscious blocks, the next time you set the intention, you say, hey, Christy, I want to go get a new job. If those blocks are cleared, then you easily and effortlessly run into the right person who offers you a job, right? A quote, quote, coincidence or synchronicity happens, right? Or you send out 5 resumes and you get back 3 job offers like Roman did. You know, I mean, crazy cool things can happen when you don't have that other unconscious and subconscious intentionality kind of zinging you back and putting you back into square one. Okay, so let's begin, all right? We're going to do the energy clearing session. It's my favorite part of the whole session today, and I want you to get in a comfortable position. Put your earphones on if you want some peace and quiet while you're doing it, and then just relax. And I'm going to start guiding you through it. It's going to be super easy. I'm going to do the talking. You're going to trust whatever kind of answers kind of pop up into your head when I ask you questions, and just know that you're being intuitive. When you're being intuitive, the answer will come to your head within the first 2 seconds. When you're being logical and overthinking, it takes longer. Okay, so just allow and trust and relax and just kind of go along with this process and set an intentionality that, hey, I am open to receiving an abundance frequency that's way better than my current one. So take your energy up 300 feet where you see, sense, or feel the light. See, sense, or feel the light. And we all naturally do this when we say, hey, I'm going to pray about it. We take our energy up 300 feet and we kind of connect to the light, and we allow that light to start downloading into us. So some people see it, some people just take a deep breath. And basically the real truth is when you think of light, you're doing it, okay? So allow this light to start coming into the top of your head, connecting you to your true divine nature, which is basically abundance, love, unlimited possibilities, more than enough, right? So I want you to allow this light to start coming into the top of your head, connecting you to your true divine nature. And your true divine nature is basically abundance. It's love. It's unlimited possibilities. It's more than enough. And allow this connection to open and start coming in, filling you with more and more and more abundance, filling you with more and more truth, filling you with more and more love and support. And allow this light to come into your eyes so you can see the amazing skills and talents that you have, and you can see where your abundance and opportunities are, and you can see the things that will give you pleasure. And allow the light to come through your ears, opening you up so you can hear your guidance about what your true talents and skills are. And allow this light to come into your throat, opening up your communication between your heart and your head, so that you can have an amazing balance between what your head says to do and what your heart motivates you to do. And allow this light to come in. And again, we're asking for truth, and we're asking for your talents, and we're asking for your abilities and skills in creating abundance to show up, so that you can get paid for being you. Allow the light to come into your heart, opening up the connection to the things that give you pleasure, the things that you love, the things that motivate you, the things that give you a positive energy. And allow the light to come into your solar plexus and ask it to wash away anywhere you feel blocked today. And allow the light to wash away anywhere you don't trust yourself. Wash away any of the barriers to finding out the truth about what your shining talents and skills are, so that you can get paid being you. Allow the light to come into your stomach area, opening it up so that you feel empowered, so that you can take action, so that you can step forward. Allow the light to come into your hips, washing away anything that makes you feel stuck, like that you can't take a big giant step forward into the future using your talents and skills, being paid for being you. Allow the light to come in and help support that. And I want you to decide that today is the day that things are going to change. Today is the day it's going to be easy. Today is the day it's not going to be very forceful. It's just going to come in. It's going to be easy. It's going to be light. It's going to be happy. It's going to be life-changing. And allow this light to come into your legs and allow the light to connect you to the center of the planet. So you just see the light coming all the way through your body and see it going into the ground, into the center of the planet. And in the center of the planet, there's actually like another light bulb, all right? Some people see it as a crystal, some people feel it, some people just take a deep breath, some people see it as a pyramid. Whatever the vision is, there's this light that comes, a dimensional light that comes from the center of the planet that feels like supportive mother's love. And we're going to ask this light, we're going to invite it into your body as well, so that when you go to manifest things, you feel supported in it. So allow this light to come back up like a big elevator, up into your feet, your legs, your hips, your stomach, your heart, your shoulders, your throat, your head. And you're now connected to the energy from above and below. And we're going to ask this energy to create safety and security. We're going to ask it to show you that opening up your gifts and talents today is good, it's right. Living in your truth is the best way. Okay, and when you're ready, I want you to see the energy kind of come from above and below into your heart, and I want you to expand it out 360 degrees all the way around you like a big sunshine, filling you with truth, love, light, happiness, abundance, joy, more than enough. And this is the energy frequency that creates your abundance, okay? Being connected to this is what creates your abundance field. And before we begin, I would like to do a little mini assessment so that you can see that things have changed before and after this meditation. So scale of 1 to 10, 10 being yes, and 1 being no. I currently create a lot of abundance using my authentic talents and skills. So 10 means yes, you're kind of doing what I'm doing. I get to get paid for being me and using my intuitive skills, right? And helping people. And 1 is, no, Christy, I'm really not using my talents and skills. I'm just doing a job. Okay? Another scale of 10, 1 to 10. I get paid for being me. 10 means you get paid doing something that's authentically aligned with who you are. And 1 is, no, I'm not aligned with that. Okay, scale of 1 to 10, I'm happy with my current job. So even if you're a stay-at-home mother, are you happy with that? Scale of 1 to 10, I have plenty of abundance. I have more than enough. Okay, where are you at on that scale? Okay, now we're going to do a clearing so that you can start changing some of these, and that the mini assessment that you do afterwards has some improvement. Okay, so are you ready to begin? Okay, so now I'm going to start guiding you in the meditation, and I'm going to ask you some questions so that you can find where your hidden blocks are, okay? Because the point is we want to open those file folders so that you can see for yourself where you have hidden these energies that are stopping you from having your talents and skills show up in your life. All right, so I'm going to ask this question and allow the answer to just come to mind. if an answer doesn't come right away, just trust that your soul has opened the file folder, okay? And all the information is going to be there. So what hidden skill have you shut off? So what is one of your talents and skills that you have shut off? So maybe it's like something like being a diplomat. Maybe it's I know how to make people get things done, right? Maybe you're an organizer. Maybe you're an amazing communicator. Maybe you should be a speaker, teacher, healer, whatever it is. So what hidden skill or talent have you shut off? What comes to mind? Okay, now I'm going to ask a question because we want to know where you imprinted this in your reality field. So, what age is the first age that you started shutting off this skill and this talent? And because we're often influenced by other people around us, did you shut this energy off because of your mom's influence, your dad's energy, your own energy, or someone else? Okay, so whatever awareness you had come up, we're just going to trust it, okay? And then we're going to bring in a lot of light, so you're now connected from above and below. I want you to feel, where does this feel dense in your body? Where does it feel kind of heavy? And start sending some light to that part of your body when we're talking about shutting off your hidden skills and talents. And we're going to do a clearing statement, and the clearing statement is, I clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Now, if you want to say it out loud at the same time, you can do that, whatever you feel comfortable with. So I clear and transmute everywhere I shut off my hidden skills and talents across all time, dimension, space, reality. Clear and transmute everywhere at the certain age that you shut off your skills and talents. Clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Any other skill or talent that you want to clear right now that you shut off at any age, clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Now we're going to fill it in with an energy clearing statement. What would it take for me to allow my hidden skill and talent to be opened? What would it take for me to allow myself to get paid using my skills and talents? What would it take for me to allow myself to start using this skill and talent every day in every way? So that's how energy clearing works. Now, some of you guys might be having some physical symptoms. You might be yawning, you might be crying, you might be wanting to go to sleep. All of those things are just indicators that energy is moving, and it's totally fine, okay? Okay, so let's ask the next question. What guidance or awareness of how you could make extra money did you shut off? So what guidance or awareness on how you could make extra money did you shut off? Like maybe you had an idea, hey, like I had an idea a month ago that I could make extra money selling some things on eBay, or hey, I had an idea of like this cool invention that I know I can make millions of dollars with, right? Whatever it is. So what guidance or awareness about how you can make extra money did you have that you shut off? And then I'm going to ask you this question. What is the first age that you started discounting your awareness or guidance? Like what age is the first age that you started discounting and saying no to your guidance and your awareness and your inspiration? And did you do that from your mom's energy? Did your dad's energy influence you? Was it your own choice, or was it somebody else's? Because again, oftentimes we will start doing things like shutting off our guidance because we don't want to be too much for our mom or dad or something like this. Or maybe they were critical, and so you just decided, hey, I don't even want to do what I got to do. Okay, so whatever came up, let's clear and transmute the whole entire story across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Let's clear and transmute the entire story across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Clear and transmute the entire story across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Anywhere else you shut off your awareness or guidance, clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. And if any part of your body feels kind of dense, that's where you shoved the belief. So if you notice your body got kind of contracted or fearful or something like that, I want you to take your energy, this light, and I want you to pull a lot of light in there like a big fire hose, and start clearing and transmuting all of that energy across all time, dimension, space, and reality. A lot of you guys should be feeling a ton lighter. And some of you guys may have to re-listen to this and do it again and again so that you can clear at deeper levels, okay? So everyone's going to be different, and it's totally fine for whatever your experience is. But if you're doing a lot of yawning, crying, or getting tired, I promise you, you have a lot of energy blocks there that are subconscious to you, and that's why they're heavy and contracting. Now let's fill it in with a lot of light. What would it take for me to always follow my guidance? What would it take for me to always follow my awareness? What would it take for me to follow my guidance and awareness and make a lot of money? What would it take for me to follow my brainstorms and create a lot of money? What would it take for me to take action on my amazing awarenesses and guidance? What would it take for me to be open to the ideas and opportunities that my guidance and awareness can bring me? Okay, so let's do the next one. So oftentimes you have, remember, intention plus action, right? So a lot of times you'll get an awareness of some guided action that could bring you abundance. So I'm going to ask you, what guided action did you refuse to take that stopped you from achieving abundance? So maybe you had this idea like, hey, I should call this guy and he's going to be able to help me, and then you didn't do it, right? Or maybe you had an idea, oh, I should get a patent on this idea and it will make me a lot of money. So what guided action have you refused to do that prevented you from achieving a lot of abundance? And then what age is the age that you started not following your guided action? And did you pick that up from your mom, from your dad, from yourself, or from someone else? Okay, and again, if you're not getting really clear answers, usually what happens is the file folders are kind of opening anyway, like your soul will be helping you anyway. You might not get clear answers. You might have just like a little thought of something and there's a lot of energy attached to it. So just trust that it's clearing, even if you're not aware of everything, okay? Because later on, you might have like a brainstorm 2 days from now about what it was about. And some people say to me, Christy, I don't know what the heck I cleared. All I know is my life works now. Okay, so whatever that is, clear and transmuted across all time, dimension, space, reality. All the guided action that you're refusing to take that's blocking your abundance from showing up, clear and transmuted across all time, dimension, space, reality. All the guided action that you're stopping, that you're refusing, that you're not using to make you a lot of money, clear and transmuted across all time, dimension, space, and reality. All the guided action that you're refusing, that you're stopping, that you're preventing, clear and transmuted across all time, dimension, space, reality. All the moments in time where you didn't follow your guided action, clear and transmuted across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Okay, so what would it take for you to follow your guided action? What would it take for you to take massive action? What would it take for you to just follow through and make abundance happen? What would it take for you to easily and effortlessly do whatever it takes to make abundance happen for you? Okay, so let's do the next one. What skills could you use to create an extra $10,000 or more? So what comes to mind when I say to you, what talent and skill could you use to create an extra $10,000 or more? Maybe you're a writer, so you could help somebody do some writing. I know a guy who charges people 20 grand to write their book for them. So, you know, I don't know, it came to mind, but what other kind of hidden skills and talents do you have that could create an extra $10,000? And what age is the first age that you started stopping or preventing that skill from being used? And did you do that with your mom, your dad, yourself, or someone else? Okay, everything creating you not using your skill to make an extra 10 grand, clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, reality. Everywhere you're using your excuses and your yeah, but Chrissy, I can't do that because blah, 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 like all those silly stories, clear and transmute them across all time, dimension, space, reality. All the other excuses and stories and reasons and justifications of why you can't use your skills and talents to make an extra 10 grand, clear and transmute it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Anywhere you can't use your skills and talents to make more than 10 grand, clear and transmute that across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. Okay, what would it take for you to use your talents and skills and generate an extra $10,000 this month? What would it take for you to use your talents and skills and generate even more than that over the next year? What would it take for an extra $10,000 to show up in your life using your talents and skills? What would it take for you to get paid to be you? What would it take for a bunch of money in abundance to show up because you're getting paid to be you? Okay, so let's ask another question. What are you refusing to become that you know you can be? Maybe you know you're supposed to be an author. Maybe you know that you're supposed to be a business owner. Maybe you know that you're supposed to help women. Maybe you know that you're supposed to be an intuitive life coach like a lot of people that I teach. But what are you refusing to become that you know you can be? Okay, and what age is the first age that you started shutting off becoming that? What age is the first age that you started shutting off becoming that? Okay, did you shut it off because of mom's influence, dad's influence, your own influence, or someone else's? Because your mom and dad were doing the best they could with what they had. Okay, so wherever it feels kind of dense or contracted in your body, I want you to take in a lot of light and clear and transmute across all time, dimension, space, and reality, everywhere you're refusing to become who you're supposed to be. Clear and transmute everywhere you're shutting down who you're supposed to be. Clear and transmute everywhere you shut down and pretending to be somebody that you're not. Clear and transmute everywhere you're refusing to be skilled and talented and amazing and the full birthright of you. Clear and transmute everywhere you're not being paid being you. Clear and transmute everywhere you're pretending to be somebody else's version of you. Clear and transmute everywhere you're a people pleaser and you want to make other people comfortable being some other version of you and you don't want to change. Okay, everything that is, clear and transmute it across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. So what would it take for you to be you? What would it take for you to get paid to be you? What would it take for you to get paid more than enough being you? What would it take for you to become the you that you know you were meant to be? What would it take for you to become the highest and best version of you? What would it take for you to become the happiest version of you? What would it take for you to become the most abundant version of you? Okay, let's ask the next one. What are you refusing to do that you know you could easily choose? So we all know there's something that we're supposed to do. Maybe it's pay attention to your retirement account, or do a budget, or send out 20 resumes, or call some fellow who told you to follow up for that sales call, right? So what are you refusing to do that you know you could easily do? Okay. And what's the first age that you started stopping yourself from getting what you wanted? It's kind of like a sabotage, right? So what age was the first age that you started sabotaging yourself and not doing what you know you should do? Okay, and was the influence of that from mom, dad, yourself, or someone else? Okay, and I want you to notice where you feel kind of heavy or contracted about that in your body. Okay, and send a lot of light there, and we're going to clear and transmute everywhere you're refusing to do what you know you should do, across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Clear and transmute everywhere you're refusing to do what you know you could easily choose to do. Okay, all the reasons for this, all the stories, all the yeah buts. Clear and transmute it across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Clear and transmute everywhere you're refusing to do what you know you should do. Okay, what would it take for you to easily do what you know you should do? What would it take for you to easily create abundance? What would it take for you to easily create new opportunities? What would it take for you to easily follow up with some things that you know you should follow up with? What would it take for you to easily do things that create abundance? Okay, and when you're ready, I want you to kind of take note, and now I want to do that mini assessment again, and let's just see if your attitude or your energy about some of these things has changed. Okay, so I want you to test this out, scale of 1 to 10. I can create abundance using my talents and skills. So maybe before your answer was like a 6 or a 7 or a 5. So where do you think about I can create my talents and skills right now? All right. I can get paid for being me. Scale of 1 to 10. I can get paid for being me. Okay, I can create happiness in my job. Okay, so that means happiness in your job means you can either change jobs or upgrade your job, right? So I can create happiness in my job. Okay, scale of 1 to 10, I allow guidance to lead me to better opportunities and more money. Does it feel a little lighter, a little better? And again, you can come listen to this really quick, but I bet you guys had a lot of ahas about where some of your blocks were that you weren't expecting. You probably weren't expecting that you would have some blocks at age 3, some blocks at age 5, some blocks at age 7. And the good news is this was only a short little mini assessment. And the real truth is for a lot of you guys, something's changed immediately and you're gonna see something happen. And for other people, you might have some more blocks that just need to be worked on, and that's okay too, okay? The general majority of you should just feel either lighter or happier or more peace of mind, or you felt like this dense energy isn't in you as much anymore. And those are all indicators that something was shifting and changing, okay? And the shift should grow in the next days or weeks or months. Now, remember that what you just did was start building a foundation for abundance in the upcoming months. What you experienced was a shift in one of the most common blocks that people have, the capability of attracting abundance by literally just being yourself, right? Now, I want you to keep in mind that this is just one of the 24 blocks that affect us to varying degrees. And you're going to need to eliminate these before you can start attracting abundance almost effortlessly. Now, again, you may not necessarily have all 24 of them, but I found that people have at least a dozen of these. And I cannot stress enough about this. Even having one abundance block is enough to completely derail your life. Okay, so now that you understand abundance blocks and you've experienced the energy clearing session, it's now time for you to get inspired. So please hold on all the way to the end of this because I want you guys to understand this, all right? I want you guys to just understand what can exactly happen when you break free from your abundance blocks. You see, in May 2011, I hosted an exclusive 3-month online energy clearing event for a small group of only 400 people. It was called the Unlimited Abundance Journey, and during the journey, I performed live online energy clearing where I tapped into everyone's collective energy field, and we eliminated each one of the 24 main abundance blocks one at a time. Now, you won't believe that some of the things that happened once the event ended. I started getting these amazing appreciation emails. I even talked about some of them earlier today from participants telling me that their lives were completely transformed after going through the journey. And here's a few more of them. Desiree, she manifested a part-time job earning her over $40 an hour, and that's exactly what she programmed to have happen. She manifested an extra $10,000 a year. She erased her $85,000 loan debt, and she said she's happier, healthier, and wiser. Deanne increased her savings by 6,000%. She said she was grateful for all the sessions, and what happened is she had a real estate closing. Her company was normally going to take 50% of the cut, and they didn't take 50% of the cut. They gave her an extra 20%. She quadrupled her income, her commission increased, she was made one of the top brokers in the area, she manifested the exact year and color of car that she wanted, and she had all these crazy cool things happen. Anne made over $20,000. She had spent all of her inherited money, she had to leave her house. Anne made over $20,000, and her story was fascinating. Basically, she had gone through her inheritance and she had to leave her house to stop the financial bleeding, okay? About 4 weeks later into the Unlimited Abundance program, a woman called her wanting her to work for her. And that one client ended up paying her over $20,000, which she used to pay off her credit card, save, and move back into her house. Then she had some other abundance come. Another client basically paid her for a working quote, quote, vacation. All right. And she said, basically, Christy, I'm using the exercise to get paid for being me. And I'm following my dreams, and I have a clear vision of what my work should look like. And it's happening for me. Thank you so much. So Adriana is kind of cool. She had emailed me, but then I later on met her a few weeks ago and at a live event, and she goes, "Oh my God, I was the one that you talk about when I talked about getting the 2 job interviews and I didn't know which one to take." So she was a real estate agent, and she basically had 2 job interviews in planned communities where she would be able to sell the houses there. One of them only had 4 houses, and one of them had 7 houses. So it would seem logical, like, hey, she should take the one that has the 7 houses because she'd make more money. But she followed her guided action, okay, using the tools that I had taught her. And she basically took the one that had the least amount of houses. And guess what? A few weeks into starting her job, the sales manager basically told her, hey, we're building another planned community, and within the next few months, you can start selling those homes as well. And she basically said the sales manager explained to her that she now had guaranteed work for the next 2 years. I mean, think of how amazing that is, that she took guided action instead of quote, quote, logical decision making.
Christy, thank you so much for taking us through that. That was an incredible experience, an incredible session. And boy, those case studies are amazing. I love the results that I hear from people who have taken the course. Now, for all of you who are listening, thank you so much for being with us. What I'd like to do right now is have Christy and myself tell you about the Unlimited Abundance Live program that we're bringing back this year. Now, this is different from the Unlimited Abundance Home Study course, which is a do-it-on-your-own home study course, right? In that situation, you're listening to CDs or audio, you're doing it in the comfort of your own home. And with this program, you're still in the comfort of your own home, but you're tuning in live to Christy. So there's an added energy, there's an added incentive, the power, the results you get are so much higher. You're actually part of a community. This is the difference between listening to CDs and actually tuning in live. So think about a hypnotist, right? A hypnotist can put you in a trance, and I've seen hypnotists who've been able to do amazing things with people, make people who have been smokers for 20 years, for example, suddenly give up smoking. But you don't get the same results if you listen to the hypnotist on CD. You listen to the CD, you may have to listen to it 10, 20 times before the results come in. But when the hypnotist is in your presence, when you're listening to the hypnotist live, even if it's on Skype, the results are far better. Some philosophers like Jose Silva call this the subliminal mind effect. And that's what happens with Unlimited Abundance Live. You're actually listening to Christy take you live. She's there on the phone, on a webinar software, take you through a live healing session. So Christy, let's talk about that for a moment.
So I'm going to share with you 4 amazing reasons why you do not want to miss this program. The first reason is you're going to experience an immersive form of energy balancing. You know, it isn't your everyday home training program that you do by yourself at home. What research has proved is that most of these blocks are subconsciously transmitted through wrong programming, through society, through the educational system, and you're not even aware of them. Instead of self-diagnosing, trying to figure all this stuff out by yourself, I'm going to personally dip into your collective conscious field and sense your dominant abundance block, and we're going to clear these for the group and yourself. So as an intuitive healer, my gift is working with your energy field, and during the session, I'm going to use these techniques that allow me to address your issues. And the result of this is going to be amazing. It's going to be an energetic transformation with little or no effort on your part, and trust me, it's going to leave your mind and body feeling absolutely rejuvenated. You guys have probably already felt some shifts and change just by being on this webinar.
And Christy, if I may, I just want to share something with the audience over here. The specific technique you use, I believe you've shared this with me. It's something along the lines of an energy mold. You create an energetic mold of the the avatar of the person who's listening, and you're thus able to provide healing to thousands of people simultaneously at once.
Yeah, so I put a big energy blessing bubble around everyone that's on this call, and I ask it to be infused with all of the abundance, all of the block clearing that they need. They have to just open up to this energetic field.
Got it. Okay. All right. Now tell us about point 2.
You know, in order to permanently remove all these abundance blocks, you need to do it consistently. And this is why I'm committed to consistently meet with you guys online for a period of 12 months until you've healed your energy field and got rid of your abundance blocks. What I noticed is the people who applied the tools consistently got the most amount of positive change. And so you can see that removing abundance blocks is something that can't always be done by yourself. So when you join me live in each of the 12 sessions, you're going to be 100% sure that every one of your abundance blocks are going to be detected. They're going to be transmuted. They're going to be cleared out of your system till they're non-existent. And that's how you allow your abundant co-creator self to show up in your life. And not only that, but you get to interact with me live on these webinars. You get to ask questions. You get to say, hey, Christy, what the heck is my block here? I feel so stuck. And then we clear it for the whole group. And I found that this is the fastest and easiest way to kind of zap your abundance blocks out of your reality.
So Christy, so what's going on then is in these 12 sessions over 12 months, you're not picking one specific block per month, right? You're energetically working on a collective number of blocks with the group once a month.
Yeah. So they get on the call. They've been listening to the 24 abundance block sessions. They get on the call, and then we have a topic that we're handling that month. But if they're talking to me and they're typing to me, Vishen, they can just go, Christy, okay, I've been working on this thing all month. Like, what do you think it is? And in the Facebook community, they can also do the same thing.
Got it.
I'm really in there with them, coaching them and helping them.
Got it. And one of the things I want to add, people, is because of the Facebook community, we've actually done some studies on this. By having a community where everyone who's in this program is connected to each other, the completion rate goes through the roof. You have like 80 to 90% of the people completing the program because you make friends in the community and they hold you accountable. Christy, you mentioned earlier, just a quick question. I want to make sure everyone is very, very clear on how the program works. You mentioned that they're going to have to go through the 24 abundance blocks. What is that? Is that a booklet? Is that audio? How do they go through the 24 abundance blocks before each clearing session?
Okay, so what happens is you guys, as a bonus, get the original 24 abundance block unlimited abundance. And you get to start that right now. Like you get this sent to you, and you can start this right now as soon as you decide to jump in.
Okay, so what this means, people, is that even while you're waiting for the first session, because remember there's 4 weeks in between sessions, it's 12 sessions over 12 months, you will get access to Christy's original best-selling program on Mindvalley. And when I say best-selling, I mean #1 program on the entire Mindvalley Academy. You learn about the 24 abundance blocks. It's an audio program, and now we've upgraded it so you can actually go through it on your smartphone, whether it's an iPhone or an Android device as you're driving. So you can do that on your own time. And once a month, you will tune in to Christy. So in effect, you're getting 24 hours of additional content that you can listen to anytime. This is recorded content, free, along with your 12 live sessions. Christy, tell us about the third thing, which is collective intent.
So I want you guys to really get this, because this is a group coaching call. So thousands of other people are going to be attending live with you. And we have this collective intention to clear abundance blocks. And I found that anytime any group of people gather together with the same intention, the effect is magnetized. So like the Maharishi effect has demonstrated, a group of people get together, they focus on a single goal, and the energy gets bigger. So it's like a giant ball of positivity, and every one of us is going to be attracted to it. And just by being there, it's going to help clear your self-doubt. It's going to clear your fears, and you're going to be amazed. One of the cool things that I've noticed, Vishen, is that
I had a lot of people who did my very first one in 2014 join my 2015 group because they had so much change and they just wanted more change.
Right, right. People come back. And one of the interesting things about this is I'm quoting a writer here called Christian Pankhurst. He says personal growth is evolving to be less personal and more communal. And what he's finding, and what many of us are finding, is that group sessions, tribes around a particular personal growth modality create far better results than going it alone. And Christy, finally, let's talk about the fourth point, which is the transformational results.
Yeah, so you guys know, remember the first group was 400 people that took part in the original Unlimited Abundance, and a majority of them reported massive improvements in their wealth, careers, self-empowerment, sense of purpose. And on top of that, thousands of successful clients that they've worked with over the years is what makes me amazingly confident that you will experience these results too. I want you to feel into it because really all you need to do is join me in each of these calls, relax, and start clearing your abundance blocks. Now, keep in mind that if for any reason you cannot attend any of the live calls, I send you the recordings. So you get the clearings and people play them over and over and over again. Like I have people say, Christy, I listen to you while I'm taking a shower. Christy, I listen to you in the car. And they do this because on a soul level, they can feel that the stuff is percolating and coming in and helping them. And just know that on a soul level, even if you're not there, you're part of this energy group. And this energy bubble in this group is help filling you in with clearing energy.
Christy, so what time are the live calls happening? For those of us who are in, say, New Zealand or London, how will we know if this is going to be at a reasonable hour?
Well, Vision, it's at 10 a.m. on a Saturday, one Saturday a month, 10 a.m. Pacific time. I chose to do it on the weekend so that if people are in New Zealand or in Australia or someplace where it's 5 a.m. for them, it's on the weekend and they can adjust their sleeping schedule to fit that.
So let me confess that is one downside of the program. Christy is coming on live, so we have to pick a time that would be suitable for the majority of our audience. Now, our audience tends to be primarily in North America and Europe, and this is the best time we could find. But here's what it means. It means that if you're in the US, it's really easy. It's happening in the morning for you on a weekend. If you're in Europe, I'm recording this right now from Helsinki. It's not too bad. It's around 7 p.m., so I get to listen to the call just before dinner. If you're in, say, Hong Kong, it's going to be at around 1 a.m. your time, which is still reasonable. Now, if you're in Australia, I'm afraid you may have to get up in the middle of the night, but I can tell you it's absolutely worth it.
Everyone who lives in other countries, they really report to me, Christy, this is me loving myself enough to get up in the morning and take care of my abundance blocks. It's totally worth it.
So Christy, so everyone listening, let me give you information on how the program works, okay? So if you were to pay for live sessions individually with Christy Marie Sheldon, you'd be paying about 12 grand. My sessions with Christy, I pay at a rate of about $1,000. Now, even though Christy is a friend, I believe in payment because I believe when I pay her, I get the best results. So I pay like $1,000 for an hour-long session with Christy. But Christy is not accessible to everyone. Typically, people who work with her are people who can afford it or people who are celebrities. So what you're getting over here is 12 sessions. Now, it isn't one-on-one. You are doing it as a group. But what we have found is because of the way we bring in the Facebook community, because of the way we give you the recorded audios and the 24 abundance blocks, Unlimited Abundance, you get incredible value. So if you were getting 12 sessions with Christy, you'll be paying 12 grand. But with this program right now, you can get the entire program for $1,195. So that's just under $100 a session. So the entire program is under $100 a session. That is 90% off what you'd be paying if you were doing a one-on-one session with Christy. And we've always had it at this price, but this time we're making something additional. This time, what happens is, just as a thank you for spending the last hour with us watching this masterclass, if you scroll down and order below on the special order form below, you will get an additional $200 off. So you can get the entire program for $995. So now it's about $83 per session. So that is tremendous value. And remember, you're spending $83 per session. You're getting one session a month, but you're also getting the entire $500 Unlimited Abundance program completely free. And you get to go through that in your own time if you don't already own Unlimited Abundance. And if you do already own Unlimited Abundance, then remember, you're still getting amazing value with the live sessions with Christy Marie Sheldon. So this is an actual investment that makes you money, like buying a house that appreciates or investing in good stock. Imagine using this program and growing your income at least 10% every year, right? That's the bare minimum. But for many people, it's far more than that. And a lot of people have incredible results with this program in a month or less. But if you're still in the fence, keep this in mind. Enrolling in any program from Mindvalley is like in getting shoes from Zappos, that world-famous shoe store, where you can order 3 pairs of shoes, try them out, return any shoe you don't like, and get a full refund. It's the same with Mindvalley. You can enroll in Unlimited Abundance. You can get access to all of the audios for free, get the first session for free. And if you feel this isn't for you, just cancel. You can cancel anytime in the next 30 days. Now, we know what our cancellation rates are, and we know that even though we make cancellation easy with just one email to support@mindvalley.com, we know that a good 90% of people stay with the program because in that 1 month, they start experiencing results, shifts, and they know that it's certainly worth $83 or so a month that you end up paying over the course of the next 1 year. So all the information is below. I'd love to see you in the program. It's backed by Mindvalley's incredible guarantee. All our programs are of incredible quality. And now the bonus program, Unlimited Abundance, is going to be available to you on your cell phone, so you can listen to that in the convenience of, say, your commute, while the live sessions, you'll be joining us on a webinar platform and our Facebook group. Christy, anything to add?
Yeah, I just want everyone to just go inside for a minute, and I just want you to ask this really powerful question. And the powerful question is, if I invest in this program, will it make me more money than I have invested? And one of the common things you guys saw on the videos was that people who did the class before, they followed their guidance, and their guidance said, yeah, this is going to make a positive impact on my life. And so they took action. And so I hope those that are really called to do this take action. And I hope that you don't let a block of yours talk you out of it. I really believe that at the end of the day, a lot of people on the planet living in the energy of abundance and love, really, really helps the planet and cuts down on a lot of like the chaos and things like that are going on. So I hope you just really follow your guidance and tune in and follow your yes.
Thank you so much, Christy. In a moment, we'll have Christy stay on for a couple of frequently asked questions. Let me just recap the Unlimited Abundance Live Journey program. So you get to join Christy in one actual live coaching call with Christy herself and a group of students who are all going in with the same intention to eliminate their abundance blocks and grow their level of abundance. You're getting one live session with Christy every month for the next 12 months. In addition, you get the full Unlimited Abundance program as a bonus. That is 24 abundance blocks in 24 sessions. You can listen to this in the comfort of your car. It's a lot of content, but it is so enriching. It is so powerful. It has become one of our best-selling programs on Mindvalley. So you get that as a bonus. The entire program is at a very reasonable cost. A one-on-one session with Christy typically runs $1,000 plus. But this entire program ends up being only about $100 per session. In addition, if you order right now on this page, do not close this page because the special order link only shows up after you've invested an hour or so of your time watching the webinar. It's just a way of saying thank you. It's an additional unlock bonus. If you order on this page, it ends up being $83 a session. You're getting the entire program for just $9.95 with the bonuses and everything else. So I look forward to seeing you as one of our new students in Unlimited Abundance, the live program. Now, Christy, let's get started with the FAQs.
So there's some common questions that people ask me. So if you're new to the program, I'm going to answer some of the common questions that I get from clients, okay? So common question number 1, how fast will I start seeing results? Well, the truth is, the beauty of the process is that you're going to start seeing and feel results the moment you start working on your energy field, okay? So you guys did a process already, and it was only 15 minutes, and you started feeling things, right? You started feeling energy move, or yawning, or crying, or something. You might have felt more peaceful after it started releasing, okay? But once a block is gone, you're not going to be able to conjure up the negative feeling associated with it, which is why I had you guys do a mini assessment afterwards to show you that within 15 minutes, your numbers started to bump up, okay? So as a result, you're going to get more positive results, and it's only going to get better days, weeks, and months as you do the program, okay? So common question number 2, does everyone have the same exact abundance blocks? How will I know it's going to work for me? Well, everyone has the same abundance blocks. Basically, I mean, when I look at somebody's energy field, we all have the same 24 abundance blocks because we've all been exposed to pretty much the same messages. I mean, through different people maybe, or different media, but it's very similar circumstances. Now, you might have one abundance block that affects you more than one of the others, right? And vice versa with other people. But I have helped people just really clear things from all different angles, okay? So throughout my career, I've helped all these people, and I can confidently say that you're going to see some changes. You're going to see some results. Regardless of your personal circumstances, we're going to find out what your main block is and then release it, or your main 12 blocks and release them. So Christy, I have a busy schedule, and I know that there are 12 live coaching sessions. How am I going to fit them all in? Well, basically, the cool news is you can join the program live, or you'll get the recording. Okay? And what people do is if they have the time, they listen to the hour and 15, hour and half hour, it depends on the program. It's between an hour to an hour and a half, depends on the topic and depends what kind of energy you guys are bringing up. And then we clear it, and then you get the recording and you can listen to it again in chunks. Like, hey, you might decide, hey, I want to listen to that session again, but I only have 10 minutes. So you have it on your phone, you push play and you listen to it for 10 minutes. Or you have it on your computer, you push play while you're in the shower. Or then you might say, hey, Christy, I have an extra hour. I'm going to just listen to it before I go to bed. Or some people, what they do is they say, Christy, I listen to it all night long while I'm sleeping. Okay? And so I have people report back to me and say, wow, that's amazing. That totally works. And then some people say, Christy, does the actual recording, if I missed one of them, is it actually the same as a live experience? Well, the thing is I can only report back what everyone else tells me, and everyone who listens to the audio recording says they have the same kind of funny things happen as in a live event. They start yawning, they can feel the energy and the heaviness in their body, and then they can feel it release, and then they feel at peace, and then they feel like, hey, this block isn't here anymore, okay? So it doesn't matter if you're live or you're listening to a recording, because you're setting the intent to be part of the group, so you get the energy. Okay, like it's like you're part of this group energy, and it just works. Again, I just want to say how important it is that people open their eyes to the abundance they deserve. As the planet shifts, I want you to know that you can be wealthy, you can be successful, you can be abundant, you can enjoy your life, and you can give back at the same time. You can be philanthropic. And all it takes to achieve this is just work on your energetic frequency, so that you're finally free to attract all the abundance you need. Again, I wish I could download into you guys all the amazing stories and emails and Facebook things and people coming up to me and saying, oh my God, Christy, you wouldn't believe what happened to my abundance when I did your program. It's one of the best-selling programs in Mindvalley, and I just hope you guys can just really get that and feel that and tap into your soul and ask really good questions. And again, ask, if I do this, will it create me more money than I'm investing in it? And then just take massive action and guided action and just follow what your soul shows you to do, okay? And I promise you, it's going to work for you, all right? So, I'm so happy you joined me. Thank you so much for being here. I love you bunches, and I can't wait to start coaching you. It's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be life-changing, and I'm going to be so proud to help you.